We're now counting down fewer than 24 hours to the fourth launch of South Korea's domestically produced Nuri space rocket. And with the latest from the site of the planned launch, I have my colleague Park Kun-woo standing by live. Kun-woo, good morning. So is the weather there being a team player today, Kun-woo?
Morning, Sunny. So as the weather can be a major variable for the launch, there have been some concerns, but conditions are generally fine at this moment, unlike yesterday where strong winds and when we saw passing rain. And the strong wind advisory was also lifted this morning as well. So the area is forecast to see rain accompanied by lightning and sudden gusts later tomorrow, but luckily that's expected to come after the scheduled launch window of around 1 a.m. So it's unlikely to affect the mission.
Right, good to know, Kun-woo. How are the preparations for the planned launch proceeding?
Right, so at the moment, most procedures remain on track, and the only change is that plans to connect the rocket to the umbilical system, which supplies fuel and oxidizer ahead of launch, were pushed back from last night to this morning due to the weather. As a result, additional checkups to ensure there are no blockages or leaks in the system are also expected to end this morning. But there's no need to worry, as officials say there's still sufficient time before the scheduled launch. That comes after the rocket was slowly transported to its launch pad, then erected and secured in place the day before to ensure it remains stable even under strong winds. Also today, there will be a comprehensive inspection focusing mainly on the fueling system and electrical components. The actual loading of fuel and oxidizer will begin 4 hours prior to liftoff. And as of now, the estimated launch window is between 12:54 and 1:14 a.m. on Thursday, and the exact launch time will be finalized this evening around 8 p.m. after the Launch Management Committee reviews the weather conditions, the possibility of collision with space objects, and the overall readiness of the rocket. There are also backup dates running through December 4th in case of any bad weather conditions.
Right, Kun-woo, this latest launch, as we've been highlighting over the past few days, will be Nuri's fourth liftoff. What are some of the more notable aspects of this particular mission?
Right. So first of all, this will be the very first nighttime launch, providing ideal conditions to observe natural light displays or auroras. The mission's main satellite, along with 12 additional satellites, up from the previous 7 carried in 2.5 years ago, is set to be deployed into orbit. The goal is to reach an altitude of 600 kilometers with an air range of about 6%, while the primary measure of success will be whether the main satellite reaches its designated orbit. The estimated flight time is a little over 21 minutes, and the Korea Aerospace Administration will announce the results about an hour and 20 minutes after liftoff. And as manufacturing of this fourth vehicle was led entirely by the private company Hanwha Aerospace, this can mark a major milestone in the transfer of technology and a broader shift toward a private sector-driven launch system. And that's all I have for you now. Back to you, Sunny.
All right, Kun-woo, thank you for the latest on Thursday's launch of South Korea's Nuri space rocket.